Hi guys, I'm Ashley at Arkham Armoury. We're going to be putting together the captain helmet today. And these are all the pieces that are included in the kit. Just laid them out for you so you can see all the pieces. So what you're going to need is a heat gun, some contact cement and a box cutter. I'm going to start with the top centre of the helmet. So if you take the two thin curved sections with the hexagonal part and the centerpiece, they're going to line up like that. So what we do first of all is get the heat gun out and blast all three pieces with a bit of heat. We're going to aim to curve them both front to back and side to side, give it a nice rounded edge. Don't worry too much how curved each piece is at this stage, just trying to give it that pre-curve, make it easier as it gets glued together that it holds its shape, forms a helmet. Once the heat is all applied, it's onto the contact cement. To apply the contact cement, I'm using a foam brush here, but you can use any scraps of foam. We just want to apply a thin layer along all the edges that'll be connecting together. So the inside edge of the two thinner pieces and the outside edge of the centre piece. Just take your time to make sure that you're not getting any glue on the face of any of the pieces. Just work along all those edges that'll be connecting. I've got a thin coat. You don't want to leave any sections that are too thick with glue. It'll take too long to cure. With contact cement, you want to leave it 5 to 10 minutes until it's no longer tacky to the touch. So grab yourself a cup of tea, and by the time you've finished it, it should be ready to stick together. So start at one end, slowly pinch the part together. Try to make sure that your face edge, the outside of the helmet, is completely flush. And once you've got the one side done, do the exact same on the other side. Working from front to back. If any of the bits, like right at the front there, was touching, but it wasn't quite, just goes all the way together. Then onto the side pieces. Again, we're heating these up with the heat gun, giving them a pre-curve. Do the same for the left side. Heat it up and give it a curve. Once that's got that pre-curve, get the contact cement back out, and you're applying contact cement to the edge of the first piece we put together and the edge that it'll join up to on the piece we've just curved. Again, very, very thin, making sure not to get any on that face. We use contact cement because the bond is really, really strong once the two pieces are joined together. Super glue and hot glue, although they're nice, quick and dirty choices, they're not long term, and there's a lot more cleanup involved. While you're waiting for that to dry, go and make yourself another cup of tea. And once it's all dry, after 5 to 10 minutes, it's time to stick these together. So start at the front again, using that front edge. Just pinch them together, making sure that the outer edge is completely flush. And then repeat the process on the other side, just gluing along the same edges. and leave that for 5 to 10 minutes until it's no longer tacky to the touch. Don't forget about the tea that you were making. So while that's cooling, you can glue this piece together. Again, starting at the front, lining the edges up and working front to back, pinching the edges together, keeping the front outer edge nice and flush. That's the basic helmet form complete. Now it's onto the mask section. Now we need to do a slight bevel around the top section of this, so make sure your knife is nice and sharp. It's always best to have a sharpener on hand, and we're just gonna use the knife to cut a bevel along the top of those eye sections. As you can see, there we have the bevel along those top edges, and it'll just make it easier when it forms to the rest of the helmet. Clear up your mess, and then get the heat gun and heat it ready to form around your face. And the easiest way to heat it to your face is hold it against your face until it cools down. It shouldn't be that hot that it burns. It can just feel warm on your face. Let it cool down, and once it's cooled down, you've got a well-fitted eye mask that is ready to be glued to the front of the helmet. Going to be applying glue to this edge along here and the top edge that we beveled on the mask part. Again, very thin amount of glue, and it to all the top edges and the side edge of the face mask. When it comes to the helmet section, the piece that sticks out in the middle, you want to just apply a little bit to the face, as that will be going slightly behind the nose bridge of the mask. Just apply that one thin coat, and then drink your tea while you're waiting for it to dry. Start at one end and work your way all the way to the other edge. And as I said before, you want that nose bridge to just tuck inside of the mask section. Then get the 4 ear sections, line them up, get a Sharpie and just mark where the top pieces come to, just so you know where you're applying glue, so you're not applying glue to any of the faces that don't need it. Once you've marked that out, get your contact cement and apply a thin coat to the inside edge of all those pieces. Try not to get any large lumps or dollops. Any bits that are a bit thicker, just spread out with whatever you're using to paste it on, and just apply that to both faces that'll be joining together on both parts. And once you've given it 5-10 minutes, you've finished your tea, you can then join these together. So using the edges that you now join together and your Sharpie lines, start at one end, keep the other side off, and work your way around Try and keep the inner section of the ear spot on. The top bit will be covered by the inside of the helmet, and do the same with the other side. Just line up that one edge, keeping the other part away, and obviously make sure that if you're recording it, put your head right in the camera, just to make it really difficult for everyone to see. Once they're glued together, you then work out where they're going in the helmet, and get your Sharpie again and just mark around on the inside of the helmet like so, just so you can see where you need to put glue to. Use your contact cement on both parts, a thin layer again on each of the sections where the part meets the helmet, and give that the standard 5 to 10 minutes until it's gone slightly tacky, and then you can press the pieces together. While that's drying, you might as well go and make yourself another cup of tea, and as soon as it's been 5-10 minutes, it's time to glue these in. So nice and carefully, making sure none of the bits touch that you don't want to touch. Just line up the edge that needs gluing together. Start at one edge, work your way along, and then press it nice and firmly. Then you can flip the helmet over and do the same again, starting at one end and just working to the other, pressing it nice and firmly. The main form of the helmet is now complete, so it's nice and easy now. We're just adding the armoured sections to the helmet. So we're going to heat each one, give it a bit of a pre-curve, apply contact cement to each section and glue them on. Let's get to it. Once the two side armour pieces are all glued on, it's time for the front armour section. This is where the A is placed. There's 3 different A's that come with the kit. A plain flat A, one with like a pinstripe around the edge, and one with the hexagon pattern. It's entirely up to you which one you choose. For this one, I'm going for the one with the line around the edge. With the remaining pieces, just heat them up the same as you have with the other armour pieces. Give them a slight curve to conform with the helmet, and just mark where you're placing those on the helmet, just with a Sharpie, just so you've got something to line up your glue to, so you don't end up with glue oozing out onto the face of the helmet. Give it the standard 5 to 10 minutes to dry, and then you can stick these together. While the glue's drying for the A, once you've applied it to the helmet and the piece that you're using, get the chin piece and just make 2 marks. What we're going to do is get the strap and just make a mark the width of the strap on both edges, and just use our knife just to make 2 little incisions. This will give it the impression that the material is going through the chin guard. Just cut a small piece of the strap in and apply contact cement to both. Best way to check for the length of the strap around your chin is place the helmet on, attach the strap at one end and hold it to where you want it the other end, and mark it with a Sharpie. You can glue it at both ends, or if you've got some Velcro, you can attach Velcro at one end and it'll make it slightly easier to get on and off. Just apply contact cement. Then mark where the centre of the chin strap and the strap go. Apply the chin strap to the centre of the strap, a little bit of contact cement on it, and that small piece that we've put in the middle of the chin strap gives it the impression that the chin strap is woven in between the two. The last small detail that really brings it all together is adding the pinstriping. I found the easiest way to glue the pinstriping on is with super glue. Just do a small section at a time, about 1 inch long. Just apply a small bit of super glue along the edge, hold it on for a few seconds, and then work the next piece along. Go all the way across the front of the mask, as well as around the ears and a few small sections up the sides. The last detail we're adding is the small buckle that goes just below the ear section, the small triangle piece. Just super glue that was in place, and there you have it. The helmet is built. The best way to seal the helmet is a few layers of Mod Podge or PVA. So once you've applied a couple of layers of Mod Podge, it's then ready to paint, and you can paint it then with any paints you like, water-based, acrylics,